Unless you've been living under a rock, you will know that Google are making a ton of changes in 2021 to Google Ads, and I've covered a couple of these changes already on the channel. But what I want to focus on today are two changes in particular, one of which ties into a previous video. Of course, Google are now changing the way phrase match works, meaning that close variance means that the words don't necessarily need to be in the same order, which is kind of the whole point of phrase match, meaning phrase match will behave pretty much like modified broad match, meaning modified broad match is now gone. It's a thing of the past. Forget about it. Modified broad match is gone. But in addition to that, Google have also made another change, and that is the end of standard text ads. Now, if you've been on my PPC Accelerator, you'll know there are two different types of ad formats, which are standard text ads and responsive search ads. I've made a video in the past looking at these two ad formats, and 9 times out of 10 in campaigns I manage, we usually see the standard text ads outperform the responsive search ads. And this causes an issue because now there are no standard text ads. Everything new must be a responsive search ad. So in this video, we're going to take a look at these two factors and understand what you can do to help your campaigns and optimize performance based on these two issues you're going to encounter, being that there's no more phrase match as it should be and no more modified broad match, but in addition to that, there are no more standard text ads. Let's understand what this means for you. Hey guys, Darren Taylor of thebigmarketer.com, and my job is to make you a digital marketing expert. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm a trainer and consultant specializing in PPC, SEO, all kinds of digital marketing. If that sounds of interest to you, you should consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to ring the notification bell. Well, what we're going to look at today is understanding the implications of the disappearance and the removal from Google Ads of modified broad match, which in my opinion was my absolute favorite match type. So let's take a step back for a minute. Modified broad match means that if you put a plus character in front of a broad match keyword term within that keyword, that particular term would need to appear in the user's search for your ads to trigger. So it was a great balance between getting all of the great points of broad match, with which there aren't that many, but the great point of getting the volume of search available versus the concentration of the accuracy of the search to get good quality traffic. It was a good way to balance that out between the two. Now this is gone, what can you do to improve this? What can you do from a strategy point of view with your keywords to maximize volume, but also ensure the accuracy and quality of your traffic? Well, quite simply put, there is no easy way around this. Modified broad match kind of gave a guarantee to your traffic. Quite similar to the original guarantee, if you remember back in the day, where exact match guaranteed that your exact phrase would need to show on Google for your ads to trigger. That's gone. Phrase match guaranteed that your words had to appear in that order in that particular phrase. That's gone, no longer guaranteed, and modified broad match will be removed altogether because it behaves like phrase match. So you have to use phrase match to get your volume and the concentration of your quality of traffic as well. So how do you do this? Well, when setting up a campaign, focus primarily on exact match and on phrase match keywords. I used to say also add modified broad match into the mix. That doesn't matter anymore. So you need to kind of roll things back a little bit and understand that modified broad match is gone and that phrase match can behave like modified broad match. The words in your phrase match keyword don't need to be in order. So when you build your campaigns, use these two match types, and despite what Google are saying about broad match, because they want us to go back and use broad match, I wouldn't necessarily advise it, because now that the keyword match types have opened up so much for phrase match and for exact match, you don't necessarily need broad match. You need to control the traffic you're getting from your exact and your phrase keywords yourself, because broad match is going to add even more trouble and more problems for you. So focus on these two match types first. Oh, and also preempt the traffic you're going to get if the order of your words are really important. So here's an example of what I mean. If you're a removals company based in New York and you move people from New York to Canada, and that's your business model, you don't necessarily want to show for the keywords Canada to New York removals. You want to show for the other way around. You want to show for New York to Canada removals. And that is a very big difference. You need to make sure you preempt these things with your negative keywords and make sure you add phrase match negatives, because luckily phrase match negatives behave exactly as they should in terms of the ordering of the words. So that's a good thing so far. Google haven't played around with negative keywords yet. That could be something I think could be on the horizon, the way negative keywords behave. So at the moment, preempt your traffic. Use the keyword planner. Have a look and see what keywords it spits out when you start doing your research, and add as many negative keywords that are relevant to your campaigns as possible. It's really time to start preempting now, because we can't even see in the search terms report what exactly is triggering our ads, because the search terms report, generally speaking, from campaigns I'm running right now, only show about 55% of your searches. The other 45% in my campaigns I'm running right now do not show any data because Google deems them insignificant. So thanks, Google. Thanks for telling me that 45% of my expenditure on your platform is insignificant. Another thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video is that there are no more standard text ads as your standard ad in Google. It now relies on responsive search ads, so if you go into your campaigns to create a new text ad in your search campaigns, you will see that there are only the options for call-only mobile ads and of course for responsive search ads. Now, what this means is that Google are moving in the direction of, again, automation. They want you to suggest a bunch of headlines and a bunch of descriptions, and Google will use its machine learning to understand which combinations will work against which users to create more campaign, optimizations, meaning you get more conversions and more leads or more sales out the back end. Now, in theory, that sounds great, but ultimately, we know Google cannot read the same way as a human yet. And what that means is that your click-through rate could take a nosedive if Google serves the wrong combination, even if they think it's the right combination, because we can parse the English language better than Google. We know what unique selling points a specific industry has that has an advantage over competitors. We know our industries better than Google ever could, meaning we can write more compelling ads, generally speaking, than Google could serve with a bunch of headlines to optimize with. So what can you do? Well, the easy thing here is to use the pinning option when you create your ads. Did you know you can pin certain headlines and descriptions in place, meaning they have to show when Google serves your ads? Now, if there is a key unique selling point or a key descriptive factor that applies to your business that gives you an advantage on the search results page and you don't want Google to mess with it, then you can pin that content in your ads, ensuring that that key piece of information for your users is readable and easy to see. Now, this also applies to industries like in the UK here. If you're advertising investment products, you need to tell people their capital is at risk, because of course it is. So that's important as well. It's important to use this function where you need to for legal reasons, but also for general reasons. Now, I know Google put that there mostly for legal reasons because some people need to say disclaimers in their advertising, but you can subvert that and use this functionality for calls to actions or unique selling points that you know are going to work for your business and beat your competitors on the search results page. Another thing as well, I always find in accounts that use responsive search ads, it's quite tempting to use the auto suggestions that Google comes up with for descriptions and headlines. But I'm sorry, there are no good shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. Sit down, take some time out, and dedicate time to writing good headlines and good descriptions. It's not like it used to be where you had to just write the few headlines and a couple of descriptions and your text ad was complete. You need to write a lot more content than you used to, which means you need to take time and invest in this. Ultimately, your text ads are the first thing a user sees when they're looking for a business that can help them. You need to invest time in making sure they work for you. Otherwise, you're going to lose ground. So don't treat writing responsive search ads as a tick box exercise using auto suggestions. Take time out. Think of your business position in the market, write your unique selling points, and make people understand why they should click your advert ahead of your competitors. Don't take shortcuts. This video was brought to you by the PPC Accelerator, a PPC training program with over 80 videos of step-by-step tutorial content. In addition to that, you get access to 3 additional courses on top of the Accelerator, which will show you how to use Excel spreadsheets to manage and optimize your Google Ads campaigns. You also get access to a course that shows you exactly how to use the Google Tag Manager to tag and track all your PPC activity. And you also get access to another course showing you exactly how to use Google Optimize to do your landing page, A/B testing, and optimizations as well. But the most important part of the Accelerator is you have unlimited access to me. Ask me any question you want about any PPC challenge you're seeing on the course or indeed in your actual business as well, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions directly within my Ask the Tutor system on the PPC Accelerator. So enroll today, and I can't wait to see you on the first module of the Accelerator. And that's all I wanted to say on the matters, really. I think this video turned into more of a rant than I wanted it to, but ultimately Google are frustrating. Again, I always say this at the end of these videos, that Google Ads is still a very powerful platform. You don't need to stop advertising if you're getting good returns, so don't necessarily be put off from advertising if it's working for you, despite these negative changes from Google. It's still important to advertise where it works. That's my rant. What do you think in the comments? Let me know below what you think of these new changes. Tell me what you think Google have up their sleeve. What's coming next? Because if you remember, I did a video about what Google are going to do in 2021. I think there are a lot more shortcuts coming for Google. There are a lot more ways for them to make more money, which aren't necessarily going to benefit us, the advertiser. But let me know in the comments what you think of Google's strategy so far in 2021 when it comes to Google Ads. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other content across the channel, and I'll see you guys on my next video.